Electronic Resource Kits by Gretta Carlson. The first resource in my resource kit is Drawing to Consolidate Learning. This would involve a task of some kind in the classroom where information may be difficult for students to understand, and to gauge an understanding of how much that they took in for homework or during the class. You could get them to draw a picture of what they understood from the learning. We did this in class ourselves in the first week to understand all the new information and concepts that we were introduced to at the beginning of the semester. Changing Educational Paradigms was a video that we watched about the different concepts to do with education and how we structure it, because it has such a profound effect on our development. It is important to get children into schools, so we do have to start looking in the way that we structure it and what we teach in order to make it more relevant to our current day systems and students. Big Banter was a campaign run by the Australian Human Rights Commission in 2013, but I found that the poster that they produced would still be a very relevant resource to have in the classroom. It provides a visual of all the children's rights that Australia has come up with in a clear and concise format. I think it's important for kids to be aware of what they are entitled to in the Australian education system, and also just as a human. Power of Yet TED Talk that Carol Dweck gave showed and explained how the power of Yet could be used in changing the way that we get kids to learn. By giving the power of Yet was a concept developed by Carol Dweck with a focus on a growth mindset opposed to a fixed mindset. The growth mindset allowed students to focus on not so much the outcome of a problem or situation, but how they solved it. By focusing on the solution rather than the end result, it allowed students to grow more. They were able to affect their attitudes towards difficult problems, and they focused less on failure and more what they could do better next time. Post Secrets was a project started in 2005 by Frank. He sent out 30 blank postcards to people across America and asked them to write down a secret or issue or problem that they were going through and send it back anonymously. 10 years later, it's still going, and people from across the world send in postcards to his now blog that is followed by thousands. I feel that you could easily adopt this to a classroom situation, almost like a question box, where students could add a creative aspect to a problem they are going through and set up a wall where they could display their issues. It would also help students to develop peer relationships, as with this visual aid of each student's problem, they could see that they would have similar issues to other people in the class and not feel so alone. Reading to children and reading them picture books has been known for a long time to help children with their reading ability and their development of vocabulary. It's also a great way to bring up difficult concepts in a child-friendly way, as well as morals and other social norms that kids need to know about in a way that they can better grasp. Montessori's and as well as the Steiner schools have a great focus on art and crafts. I feel that a good classroom would, even in a normal schooling public system, bringing in the creative arts into a classroom situation would help with other areas, as creative thinking has been shown to help in things like science and maths to understand difficult problems. Of all the theorists that we were introduced to this semester, I felt that I understood Vygotsky's ideas the most. He came up with the ZPD, the zone of proximal development, where students can do something, where they can't do something, and the middle part where they come together with a mentor or teacher to help them overcome problems and further their knowledge. Creative play, a very important stage in a child's development. We saw this in Creativity episode of Life at 9, where children experience future life situations through the safety of play. Vygotsky said, in play, a child was always above his average, above his daily behaviour in play. It is as though he were a head taller than himself, showing that kids have a deeper understanding of concepts in life even before that they are fully aware of them. ICT and technology, a great tool, a great resource, but it has to be used in balance with traditional and non-technology based educational tools. It's been shown in many research papers that it can have a physical and intellectual disadvantage on students, including eye damage and inability to retain information if we are doing too much learning on a, say, iPad or laptop. It has got many potentials. It allows us access to so much more information than we may have been in previous generations, but we have to use it in a responsible and ethical way.